Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a very overdue episode of Lost But Not Forgotten here on the channel. A little series where we explore abandoned railway places and just any sort of artefacts to do with railways in general. Today you find me here in one of my favourite places again, the Isle of Wight, and specifically we're here in St Lawrence, just on the outskirts of Ventnor, and we're here to explore the old Ventnor railway tunnel. So join me as I take you around what's left of the old Ventnor abandoned railway tunnel.
So yeah guys, we're about to step inside the abandoned Ventnor railway tunnel. I have to say it's 30 degrees outside and it is nice and cool in here. Yeah, we're just gonna go for a little walk all the way down. Obviously have a little explore. So yeah, the tunnel itself is around 1,200 metres long. Now the station itself in Ventnor was carved obviously in the hillside above the town itself, and of course obviously being the end of the line would have had a turntable for the steam engines, would have ran through the tunnel to be able to turn around and go back all the way down to Ryde Pierhead. Now here as well, all along the walls, from what my understanding is, this used to be old mushroom farms. So these were used as old mushroom farms long after the tunnel itself had actually closed. Yeah, as you can see, quite a lot of equipment has been abandoned and left here. So yeah, here guys is essentially a little concave to the side of the tunnel. So these would have been used if workmen were in the tunnel and a train was coming along. They'd be able to step inside here, obviously wait for the train to pass through the tunnel before then carrying on with the works inside. Really, really fascinating. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below, obviously if you've visited the island or if you live on the island and you've done this walk yourself. I'm sure probably many people have. No, it's quite a famous one for urban explorers or just railway enthusiasts in general. But yeah, it's really, really fascinating. Not too sure what year obviously the tracks would have been lifted up, assuming probably very shortly after the line was disused. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Looks like quite a few people have enjoyed themselves down in these tunnels throughout the years. Loads and loads of trash all on the walls, graffiti all on the floor. Yeah, like I say, all these railings here were left over from a mushroom farm. And what was obviously just left there, the railings would have been used to obviously hold up the crops, I would have thought. Yeah, obviously. So yeah, this is a good example. So you've got all these pipes here. See, the railings would have held these. The mushrooms would have been grown all along the route of the tunnel. There's quite a few ghosts on the walls as well. Yeah, if you do decide to do this, obviously you need to bring a very, very good torch. And then of course, make sure to watch where you're treading as well, as there's loads of pipes everywhere here. And then obviously we're coming towards the end of the tunnel, because I can just start to see the light piercing through the end. Obviously it would bring us through the other side of St Boniface Down. I'll be interested as well to see when we get to the other end of the tunnel whether there's actually anything, any sort of remnants or anything left there, like any sleepers or anything on the floor, anything like that at all. Seems to be a bit dusty in here. So yeah, someone let me know in the comments what this is here on the wall. So obviously it just says 89 here on the wall. So is that obviously one of the portholes in the side of the tunnel where it would have been? Maybe number 89 along the line itself. Yeah, interesting. He is watching, apparently. Yeah, I'd be interested to know if there is any records of any hauntings here, any ghost trains of the tunnel. Wonder if anyone has heard a phantom whistle or anything like that in here. Yeah, really, really cool. Also as well, if you can hear that noise in the background, that's coming from someone who doesn't wear appropriate footwear coming through this. Decide to wear flip-flops coming through here. I mean, it's 30-degree heat out there, I get it, but you know, yeah, this is really, really fascinating. And of course, obviously you can see there, as they say, the light at the end of the tunnel. So it'll bring us out through the other side of St Boniface Down. I have to say, I would have loved to have seen Ventnor Station back in the day. I say, just coming through the tunnel, being that station at the end of the line, would have been impressive to see the O2 classes, the terriers and that all puffing through that tunnel. Sort of into the middle of nowhere, really. Because you've got to think as well, Ventnor is right on the edge of the island. And the station obviously was built sort of on a cliff face over the town, which itself has actually suffered quite a few landslides. There's constantly roads being closed around Ventnor. I see in news articles online about landslides. But yeah, fascinating relic of history. Like I said, it's one I've wanted to tick off for quite some time. And it's just one, in terms of this series, Lost and Not Forgotten series on the channel, it's one I haven't touched in a while, which I'm going to start making more of an effort with. So I do love exploring places like this, especially old relics, lost relics of the railways. I'm assuming this is just as we get towards the end, the other end of the tunnel, people have decided to come down here and fly tip, which is a bit of a sad state. And it'll be interesting to see, because it's been sat here so long, disused. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds for this tunnel, because technically it's not a public right of way, but it's sort of been turned into one where people can walk through. Not officially. And I know there is talks that Ventnor needs a railway station. Obviously you've seen videos from a fellow YouTuber, White Wanderer. He's done quite a few videos, I've checked that out. That obviously makes the case of why Ventnor could reuse a railway station and why it's vital. But yeah, that has been through the abandoned railway tunnel of Ventnor. And here we are at the other end of the line. What I find fascinating as well as looking at the roof of this tunnel is to think all that blackness up there could still be soot from the coal for where the old steam engines would have ran through here. Absolutely incredible. Just discovered this here, built in the surface as well. I'm not too sure obviously if this is one of the workmen's hides again as well, as outside the tunnel, or maybe not. but I would be fascinated to know. So someone let me know down in the comments if you know what this is. Because yeah, I can't say I've ever seen this in my research. But yeah, really fascinating. So yeah guys, that's been our little trip through obviously the old Ventnor railway tunnel. Really hope you've enjoyed that. I know a lot of people have done this one, but I just wanted to personally tick it off myself and just say I've done it. I've always been fascinated by this tunnel, and it would be nice to see what happens to it in the future. Like I say, there are quite a few strong cases made by fellow YouTubers and obviously people on forums online as to why Ventnor could do with a railway reinstated, obviously with the landslides and everything that block off the roads. So it'd be interesting to see what happens here, or maybe we'll be doing this again in another 10 years time and it will just still be sitting here abandoned. Who knows? But yeah, it's always been a fascinating part of the Isle of Wight's railway history. Yeah, and I'm sure it is for many of you. So yeah, thanks for watching this. If you did like this, give us a like, comment down below and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.